sure someone's gonna want to watch this. Um, All right, here we are. Whew. So, I hear some people want to know how I do documents. Well, I have documents right here. Alright, I'm gonna wait a few seconds for people to arrive, because that's what I do. Alright, so, hello, nerd. Alright, so, if you look at my doc here, you'll notice I have these little accents on the side. I don't know what else to call them, but yeah, I have these little accents on the side, and some people are wondering how I get them there, because you can't exactly put a background on a Google Doc, so you kind of have to, work a little bit cooperatively here. So, first I'm just going to change all my margins to 0.5 inches, because that's what I always do with my documents. Basically what the margin is the space between the edge here and the actual content of the document. So if you decrease that number, you can actually put it closer to the edge of the document, which means more space. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start off with how to put these in here, since people seem to be really curious about that. So I just pasted these in from here, and they default to inline, which means if you were to type something, it kind of just shows up there, like it's all in line. So, oops. So what you have to do is you have to go to wrap text here. Like if you click wrap text, you can change the margin. I believe it defaults to 1/4. I like to set it to 0 though. So, and then you can move it around. And the best thing to do is you kind of move it around here. You see a red line. That shows the margin edge, as I like to call it, or where the margin actually is on the paper. So you can move that up and down on the red line until you see these two red lines here. That means you're at the corner of the document. So you can just drop it there and you're good to go. I'm going to do the same for this one here, except I'm going to put it down here. What? I think I've been... There we go. Now it looks kind of off, so I'm going to change a few things here. A lot of people seem to frown upon landscape-oriented documents because sometimes you can't really see them properly on smaller computer screens, but I find that this size works really well for having it like that. You go to the page setup under File, then you can do landscape and hit A4 as your paper size. Seems to work pretty well. I don't remember what I have this one under. This one's just normal letter paper. Meh. Alright, so then after you have that, you can hit enter here until you're down here. And my favorite font to use is Bentham. I don't know why, it just looks amazing. And for the OC name here, see here. let's say that our OC is named Dr. Lapis. Seems pretty fitting. We can kind of center it here. You can move it down a couple lines so it's actually centered. And sometimes what I find it helps is if you, because each line here, the font size it has here will dictate how close it is to the center. Like right now you can see it's pretty center vertically and horizontally. So this is pretty good. Make this font a little bit bigger, maybe size 48. Then it's not quite as centered, so you can change this here to 24 because you can kind of see the little line here. Change that to 24. And voila. I'm going to choose a somewhat steady background color. Gold is kind of a personal favorite of mine, so I can make this text a darker gold. Whoops. How's the font spelled? Can you post it here? Yeah, sure, I can just post it right here. Bentham. You might have to go into more fonts here to find it. I don't believe it comes by default. But yeah, you can do a little... Sometimes finding colors takes a good little while here. So I want to make this like an actual goldish color. There. Make the background a little bit lighter. It's kind of jarring. Depends on how you look. That doesn't look really well. The lighter is kind of jarring. Depends. It's the way I see it. It's all on personal opinion because some people kind of see things a little bit better than others do, so to speak. I guess. I don't know. Dr. Lapis here. Sometimes no, I don't want that underline to go away. You can bold it, italicize it. It looks kind of weird though, so keep that out. Get that crap out of here. Well, maybe I'll bold it. No, the P looks weird down there. Don't know why. But much better. Yeah, personally I like it the way it was before, but it's like I said, it's all personal opinion, how well you can see it, how well you can't, etc. You can, I believe it's here, you can hit shift, no, not shift, control enter, and it just goes down to a new page. I don't know, you could put put a little quote here or something. Font size 24. No, 24 is too big. 16. Fuck. 16. Then you put a little quote here if you want, you truly ingenious people in the world, usually the ones considered to be insane. I don't know why I did that, but it's because that's there. Like you can see there's one huge 48 here. What you can do is you can make this font size 6 and then hit enter a bunch of times because it'll make a million lines that are size 6. That's edgy. You're edgy. Truly ingenious people in the world are usually the ones considered to be insane. Right. But yeah. So after that you're on to the next page. Congratulations. And then you can make whatever you want here. Like say I want to make like a table of contents. Table of contents. And what I like to do is I like to have the entire thing capitalized and then keep the first letters the original size. And actually 48 is too big for a title. Like I'll make this size 36. 32. Oh, whoops. There we go. Like table of contents. And make the rest of the letters size 24 or something. And this tool right here, the paint format tool, I find it incredibly useful. What you can do is, if you click on it once, and then drag your mouse over like a series of letters that you want to change, it'll change all of them to match that first style. And if you double click it like really quickly, it'll keep that until you click it again, which is incredibly useful. So like instead of like selecting this, hitting 24, selecting this, hitting 24, selecting this, hitting 24, etc. What you can do is change this first one to 24, double click on the paint format tool up here, then drag it over the F, then over the contents, part of contents. Holy shit, thank you so much. Huh? I try. It's so cool. And then, I don't know, if you want to, you can like bold it. And then let me pull up some of my assets here. Pictures. Like a lot of fancy stuff you can do in Google Docs is built around using images and tables and stuff. Which is the thing I really love about Google Docs, by the way. You can make it incredibly simple and just make something like simple document, no formatting at all, or you can go incredibly complex. Like, oh, I can't find it. Pretty sure nobody's gonna recognize this, but I'll throw this in there for now. Like, pretend this is like a fancy divider. Nah, actually, that one looks dumb. I'll throw in this one. Some of you might recognize what the burn tower thing is. I really doubt most of you will. Like, you can make this wrap text, move it, 0-inch margin. Pretend this is like a fancy divider if you want to, or something. Yeah, it's gonna show. That's gonna show up on the left there. And what you can do is, here's my favorite part of it. Like, let's make a table. As soon as I can find it here, table. Trying to remember how I did this. There's a certain way that I like to do it. Oh yeah, here it is. 2x1. And then here's the part that someone was complaining about here earlier. With this area up here at the top of the table. Like you can see here, that like if I change this to size 30, that gap gets bigger. If I change it to 40, it gets even bigger, etc. But 6 is the smallest size that Google Drive supports. Like if I try to put 1, it'll just revert itself back to 6. So you can make that one size. You can make that size 6, and it basically eliminates that little gap there. It's still there, but it's not really noticeable. And then the next best part is putting tables inside of tables. Like you can make a. I'm gonna do it again here. 6, 6. Yeah, sometimes we might want to do here is. Actually, I should probably go over that first. I'm gonna delete this table. Sorry, table. Whoops. Size 6. What you can do is you can select this entire table here. See, I have it selected. Right click, table properties. You can change the vertical alignment. Like, you have the horizontal alignment, which is like left, center, right. And then the vertical alignment you can change into table properties. Like, I always have mine set to top because they're useful. And then the table alignment is the horizontal alignment of the table itself. Like, I believe it defaults to. Oh, I guess it might default to center. Usually it defaults to left, which is triggering. Because then you get something like. Like if you're trying to change the size of your things here, it goes to the left instead of being centered, and that's a no bueno. So what you want to do is make sure it's set to center here, and then you can change it without worrying. And then another issue is that like if you try to change just one, there'll be different sizes. Like you can see that this one column is really itty bitty, and the other one's a normal size. What I do to remedy that is, again, we're going into table properties, and you see this column width thing here. You can change that to, I believe it defaults to inches. So like if I set this to 2 inches, yeah, it's about 2 inches up here. Like this column, it's 2 inches. Then this column here is 2 inches. For the size of dock, though, 4.5. Finding a good size usually takes a little bit. Like here, I'm gonna make another estimated guess. Whoops. You want to make sure you actually have them both selected, by the way. That was a mistake. There you go. Something like this you can usually do. And then you can put a table inside of a table, which is what I usually like to do. Use this first one as like a barrier of sorts to keep everything sorted. And then sorry about that. Anyway, like actually put tables inside of tables. Change that to 24. And then like you can have like the actual content of the doc here. Like actually what it helps to do is you see this thing over here that says normal text. Then title, subtitle, heading 1, 2, 3 stops there. But if you select this like heading here, so to speak, then you can go to heading 1 here and you'll see a little arrow. This arrow here is really useful. Like you click on it, you can either apply it, which makes it kind of bland. But the idea is if you hit update heading 1 to match. No, I guess it bolded the whole thing. And we'll keep it that way for now. Then it has a heading 1. And if you say move on to the next page, and let's say that your next page here has like a basic description. You can select the text here, then go over here where it says normal text, hit heading 1, and bam, you have your heading right here. Although you kind of have to redo a little bit of the formatting. Then this is another reason why I love the paint format tool. You can just steal it from above. Voila, done. And then the only issue is that you kind of get this normal text thing here, and that's no bueno. So we're gonna insert another table here because I love tables. It's like Bob Ross and his trees. You have to have so many tables. Then let's say Dr. Lapis, sometimes known by his first name. I am terrible with names here. I'm just gonna call him Bob. Bob is a doctor, is a professor who is known for his many achievements in the field of Pokemon research. You can kind of select this, change it to whatever font you want, make it different size, yada yada yada. And sometimes like you can actually it's really useful to do this. Like you see these tools up here, you can fill the table with a color. Like we can fill it with magenta, purple, whoops. Fill it with whatever color you want. Preferably something that actually matches your color scheme. Like I'm gonna fill it with this kind of goldish color here for now, just for the sake of this. And then you can kind of change the outline color. Like you can't really see it though. So say we make our table outline incredibly large, thick is good. So you can kind of change the color of it. You can make it magenta, maroon, red. To fit the color scheme though, I'm going to make it this same gold that we had above. And then I'm going to make the background color here lighter. I'm going to make it a custom color actually. Custom colors are amazing to mess around with. Like I'm going to put it down here so it's really light. Light but noticeable is a good medium. So like Something like this. It's not too different, but you can actually see what it is, which is good. And then my favorite size for thickness is 2.25 point. So you can make this, I don't know, make it a gold if you want. Like Dr. Lapis, sometimes known by his first name, Bob, is a professor who is known for his many achievements in the field of Pokemon research. Then you can kind of select this and do the same thing. Go to normal text, not heading, because this is not a heading, this is just normal text. Update normal text to match, and you have your normal text set to match. And it's really good. Now sometimes, like copy, paste. Oh! And then this happens. If you try to copy a table into a table that's inside a table, tableception, it basically crashes the document. This is just me breaking things. This is why you don't trust me. I break physics. So that didn't work. In cases like that, you kind of just have to change everything manually again, but it's not that big of a deal. And then you can title update. Now our title is going to be pretty cool. Or I guess if you want to be specific, you can just kind of just copy it. Let me find my name here. There. Paste. And then you can make it cool looking size. 12. There. And then you can kind of change it all again. All right, at this point, if there's anything that you want me to go over, you can kind of just throw it out in chat, and I'll do my best to go over it. Oh yeah. To get rid of these black lines and stuff here, because the first table, you can select. Make sure you only have these two cells selected. Go up to this thickness and choose 0 point, and it's like there's nothing even there. And then like here, you can kind of just throw in a little note here. In here, and welcome to the document for Dr. Lapis. Made on stream. And the awesome thing is it'll automatically update your normal text when you put it in there, because we set it down here. So if you just type something into the table, it'll show up. And that's really awesome. That's the thing I like about it. Fact making tips. It's pretty cool. Also, fuck physics. There, fair enough. And then to actually get the table of contents to work, you insert table of contents. And then you want to make sure it has with blue links. Even if blue doesn't fit your color description, or color description, what am I saying? Color scheme, you don't have to worry about it, because you can just actually change the formatting of these. Like you can make them bold. They come by default underlined, but you can make them that gold. Oh, well, not what I wanted to do. You can make them gold or a darker gold. I think we use this color gold. Yeah, we use that color of gold. And then something that I also personally like to do is I like to make the font on these larger than it comes by default. Like I'll make them size 15, and then I'm gonna make these 12. And then the downside with having the underline though is that the underline is different color based on what size the font itself is. So I don't like having the underline there, but like it's pretty cool. And there, you have your basic things. And then everything after this is just depending on what you want. Like if you want like your character's achievements in life or something, you're gonna just throw it all there. We're going to make another page. Oh, get back there, ass. We're gonna make like another page called I should probably actually, like, you have your achievements here. You hit enter, it'll do that. You want to go to a new page, heading 1, and then you can have, say, possessions or something. I don't know. I don't judge. And then, so you have all of these headings, relations, like for all the relationships that your OC will get into. Then you can just go up here. The downside is you have to redo the formatting on the table of contents after every time, which is why I personally like to save the redoing the table of contents for last. And yeah, well, that's all I got. So if you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, holler them out to me in chat, and I'll do my best to get to them. Thinking I might end this here in about an hour if people get bored. Alright, yeah, that's all I got. So hope you guys learned a lot. If you have any questions, just get in touch with me through whatever. I'm not picky. And enjoy. Oh, and a little bit of proof of concept here. The table of contents here actually does work. It's awesome. Yeah, happy doc making, guys.